got a couple of centuries of experience in producing and distributing energy. It's pretty clear that we're going to have to keep doing it cleaner and greener in the future. But there are also enormous gains to be made in being smarter in how we use energy, and many of those gains can flow directly to an employer's bottom line. Sustainable Pittsburgh is challenging employers across our region to prove who can be greenest with a new Green Workplace Challenge. Matt Mehalik is a program manager for Sustainable Pittsburgh. Benson Gabler is manager of corporate sustainability for PNC Financial Services Group, of course a sponsor of our region's business. That's one of the many companies that signed on to the challenge. Welcome, good to see both of you.
Thank you very much for having us today. I appreciate being here.
You're welcome. Yeah, Matt, so where did this come from? What was the genesis of the Green Workplace Challenge?
We've been meeting with businesses around sustainability topics at Sustainable Pittsburgh for the past 4 years, and we've had a special group of businesses focusing on energy, and those businesses themselves said, we would really like to get involved with energy efficiency and energy savings in our businesses, but we want to be able to measure the impact that we make. And so their insistence was putting in a program that allows the tracking over time of what improvements happen in their energy usage when they initiate different programs. So it took us at least 18 months to build this program to make sure that it was done right so that it could be measured, and then the folks that end up competing or participating can say we really have achieved something.
Okay, and then you have the added benefit if you're tracking all of this stuff, they can actually compete. You can actually say who's doing better than who, right?
Exactly, exactly right. And it's a friendly competition, but it's still a competition. We want to be able to say, you know, this company has made these investments and they're paying off, and we want to be able to help them track that.
Benson, the PNC experience, has it been that when you engage in these kinds of practices, it does flow through to the bottom line?
Definitely, and that's, you know, we do it because it makes good business sense. For example, some of our energy projects, we've been doing a lighting retrofit project for the last 2 years, and some of our buildings have a payback within less than 1.5 years. And so because of that, any money that we spend now is going to save us more money down the road. So we've been really pushing energy efficiency, water efficiency, and trying to see those areas that make great business sense, as well as reduce our impact on the environment.
That would probably surprise a lot of people, that there are things you can do today and investments you can make that have that kind of almost immediate payback, because the wrap on a lot of this stuff is, yeah, it costs a lot of money up front. When will I actually recover those costs? But you're finding there's certain areas where you can really get an immediate return.
Yeah, and you have to be careful. You got to look at all the options. Usually one of the things that the Green Workplace Challenge asks you to do is to do an audit of your building. And through that audit, you will then see the different opportunities that you can pursue and which one have the best payback. So we have an energy manager that works with some consultants, kind of goes through the various buildings and picks those best opportunities. Maybe we don't go after all of them. Maybe we look at some that down the road we'll consider, maybe when the technology becomes more cost effective, but there's definitely plenty of ones that we can pursue now that can help us. We have set a goal that we're going to reduce our energy use 30% by 2020. So over the next 10 years, trying to reduce about 3% each year. And so we're looking for those win-wins right now that we can meet that goal, but also save money.
We waste an awful lot of energies in our buildings, do we not, Matt?
Yes, the leakage is a big problem, and also it varies so widely by the age of the building, type of construction, what's actually being done there. So there's a wide variability, but in general, you know, if you look at statistics in the aggregate, we only end up putting to productive use about 30% of the energy that actually is generated and distributed to people.
Holy Matt, so 2/3 of the energy that's heading toward that building, we never actually use it for anything?
It gets lost in the generation process and then the transmission process, and then even appliances and heating and chilling equipment, they have efficiencies that are not anywhere near 100%, and so there's a lot of loss in just operating equipment.
Golly, if everybody got really smart about this, not only would it help all those businesses, but that's a lot less need for generating capacity, for fuel, for the whole chain above that, right?
Exactly. For every unit of energy that you don't have to use, there's 3 additional units of energy that don't need to be generated, and why that's significant is that it means that you don't have to invest in as much construction of power plants, which is expensive for people. Those end up on the bills that people end up paying long term, and so that's in some ways an investment.
Wow. And Benson, PNC's been at this, gosh, since the late 90s, I think, when the first green building was built. Haven't you already gotten all the low-hanging fruit, or are you still finding things out there every day that you can drive to the bottom line?
Definitely. You know, you think in the late 1990s we built our first green building. We had a lot of success with that building, and have constantly been looking at ways to improve our existing buildings as well as to take our new construction even further. But every day there's something new, whether it's new technology that comes up that makes it more affordable, or just different areas that we didn't see before. So we try to engage all of our employees to look for those opportunities and to let us know.
So companies that want to sign up and join this competition, Matt, they've got what, about another month or so to sign on?
Yes, we've been recruiting for the past month, and the sign-up phase lasts until October 31st. So there's still at least another month to go. We're about halfway to where we are, where we want to go for recruiting businesses. We've got about 26 people who've signed up, 26 businesses that have signed up. It includes some well-known names in the Pittsburgh area, like UPMC and Highmark, PNC, of course, Eaton Corporation, Michael Baker Corporation, Wesco. So these are some well-known names, and it's also open to small businesses as well too. We have a lot of smaller architecture firms that have signed up as well too. So it's open to businesses large and small, whether you are an occupant in a building as a tenant or whether you're a building owner. We have different competition categories because the incentives differ depending on whether you're playing one role or the other. So we want to make sure that you're competing in the right category.
Well, very cool. Watch on the bump after this segment and you'll see the URL to find more information. Matt Mehalik from Sustainable Pittsburgh, Benson Gabler from PNC. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate being here.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in a minute with a little dollars and cents. Stay with us.